since it's the Halloween season, I decided why not? Let's do a Halloween themed video. So today we're gonna be talking about things that I used to be scared of as a kid. Alright, things mostly funny and dumb things. I feel like they're gonna be pretty relatable. So let's just dive straight in with the first one, which is dogs. Alright, nowadays I love dogs. Let's not get it twisted. I love dogs nowadays. I definitely want to own a dog. But I'm telling y'all, man, back then, every time I saw a dog, I would shit bricks, alright? I would go the other direction. Like, this one time, my neighbor's dog was chasing me, and man, I'm telling y'all, I was so scared. The dog was, of course, just trying to be playful. He was just trying to play with me, right? But man, I was scared, alright? I was literally I felt like that guy in Temporal running away from those monkeys or whatever they were, man. I was just like, oh, oh, oh. Like, I felt badass, running away from it, but at the same time, scared. So I didn't know what to do. I remember I took my jacket off and threw it at the dog, and my neighbors came and like, bro, he's not gonna do anything. But I couldn't trust the dog, right? I couldn't. I was too scared that he was gonna bite my leg off or something. That's the biggest, like the main reason was because of how I saw dogs depicted in movies, mostly scary movies like Cujo and things like that, right? When they were just like ruthless, violent, freaking monsters, right? Attacking their owners, ripping their limbs off and stuff like that, killing them. That's where I got the idea from. I just thought all dogs were like that. And I didn't want nothing to do with dogs. But eventually, right, I figured out not all dogs are like that. Most dogs aren't like that. And that was just movies, right? But there's one exception. There was this dog from Mexico. It was some family member of mine. I don't know how he's related to me, but in Mexico, he had a dog. And I'm telling y'all, this dog was straight up from one of these movies, all right? If you would just step into like a 50 feet radius of his house, near his house, that dog would go insane, all right? He was kept up in his own room, and he would bark so loud. It sounded like a fucking, like, I don't even know how to describe it, man. It sounded like a Cerebus was in there. He was just pounding his freaking body against the door, and it was in Mexico. It was like a metal door or something. The houses over there are built way differently than they are here. But he was just pounding. It sounded like he was pounding his entire body, just flinging it across the door to the door, and he was just barking so loud. And you weren't even that close to the dog, and that was just that scared the fuck out of me as a kid. I remember we visited when I was a kid, and man, at the time I was still scared of dogs. And seeing a dog like that, I I don't know, man. I don't even remember how scared I was, but I never saw that dog. I never knew what type of dog it was. 'Cause that dog never saw the light, alright? It never saw the outside when I was there. They always kept him locked up because he would actually do something. He could potentially actually kill someone. It was a violent ass dog. And I remember that same exact night when we visited this family member. I was traumatized by this dog, alright? I just couldn't stop thinking about it. I actually had a nightmare that exact same night, a nightmare about the dog where he was free, where he just broke the door down and he just started going crazy, biting people and shit. And that's how bad it was, man. This is a terrifying ass dog, and anybody would be scared of this dog, man. Like I said, a dog straight out of a movie. But uh, enough with dogs. All right, let's move on with the next one, which is Nosferatu from the SpongeBob. Not he's not from SpongeBob, right? But whenever he showed up in the SpongeBob episode, I think it was called Graveyard Shift, and that whole episode alone was pretty creepy. It gave off like a eerie type of vibe. It's the graveyard shift, right? There at night, it's just Squidward and SpongeBob on their own, and Squidward's telling SpongeBob these scary ass stories about the hash-slinging slasher, and then the lights are flickering on and off. Squidward starts saying that this stuff starts to happen when he comes, and then he comes, and you're like, what the fuck? He's here. All this shit was real, but then it turns out it was just Nosferatu. It's supposed to be a gag, right? Oh, Nosferatu. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know who the fuck he is. Like, I never seen his movie or where he's from, but when I saw this guy on my TV as a kid, like, it freaked me the fuck out. Alright, I think the main reason it freaked me out was because it was black and white, and like the guy just looked funny. Like he just looked really weird, and it just came out of nowhere. Like, I don't know, that shit just really scared me as a kid. Nowadays, it's pretty funny, right? He was the one flickering the lights, and they're like, no, it's for raw too. But back then, I wasn't like that. Alright, I was terrified. I didn't want to watch the episode. Never. Every time the episode came on, I switched to Cartoon Network. All right, I wasn't watching that episode. Alright, next thing that I was scared of as a kid, and I'm not gonna lie, it's still pretty creepy nowadays, right? But it's like a certain aspect of it that's still creepy. But anyway, this is the Lavender Town theme song from Pokemon Red and Blue and whatever other fucking game it was in. But I just remember seeing this creepy pasta online, but I didn't know it was a creepy pasta, alright? That it said that young kids who listen to the Lavender Town theme song, it would have like a little shit, I don't know, that mess with their heads, a tune to it, and it would make them go crazy and unalive themselves. So I was like, I can't be listening to this. I'm gonna go insane. I'm gonna end up unaliving myself. Like I genuinely thought if I was gonna listen to it for too much, like I was gonna off myself. I thought that was it. So I'm just like, let me not listen to it no more. All right, next goofy thing that I used to be scared of as a kid, and I actually was somewhat kind of scared of it, like not like a while back. I even made a video about it, but as a kid, it scared me the most, and that was going to the restroom during the nighttime. All right, every time I would just get the urge to piss, I was just like, no, why is this happening to me right now? I don't know. I used to believe in ghosts or some shit, and I just thought that a ghost would come out while I was going to the restroom. Right when I turned the restroom lights off and I would go to my room, I thought he was just gonna grab my leg and pull me to the ground or something, and I was gonna die. The ghosts were gonna kill me, right? So going to the restroom at night, it was a big fear of mine, but I overcame it. I manned up, I improvised, and I'm not scared of it anymore. All right, for this next one, it's gonna be a little unique to me. I feel like it's not gonna be very relatable, but let me know if it is. Please let me know if it is, because I remember this one time I was using my uncle's computer, and I was on YouTube, right? I was trying to find SpongeBob full episodes on YouTube to watch, and I finally found one that was relatively long. The quality looked fine, it looked good, so I clicked on it. I think the episode was the one of the magic conch, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know, but at the end of the episode, there was a jump scare of the Scary Maze game. Scary Maze game is also something that I was scared of as a kid, but that same girl that popped up at the Scary Maze game just randomly popped up in that SpongeBob video. Like I don't know where. I don't know if it had a jump scare in the title or what if like the person that uploaded it did it on purpose. But I was just watching a normal SpongeBob episode uploaded to YouTube, and she just popped up at the end, and that scared the shit out of me because I'm just watching a normal SpongeBob episode. That's it on YouTube, and that shit just pops up out of nowhere, and oh my god, was I terrified! I was just scared of going on YouTube ever again, especially watching SpongeBob on YouTube. Like screw whoever did that, man. You're a real big piece of shit. But I don't know how. I guess I just started going back on YouTube. I'm like, yeah, let me just not watch SpongeBob on YouTube, but. Man, that creeped me out. That creeped me out so much. All right, this next thing that I was scared of is also from a game, and that was the SAX for Metroid Fusion. And I'm not gonna lie, nowadays it's still pretty creepy. It's still pretty scary. All right, and I'm gonna show a picture of it. You can't lie. This just kind of creepy. All right, let me show the full clip of when he shows up in the game. You can't lie. It's kind of creepy, alright? It's kind of creepy, but when I was a kid, when I saw this for the first time, oh, oh my God, I don't even know how to explain it. So, the elevator, it stops. It's not following you. So you're like, what's going on? Why isn't the elevator? Why aren't we following, the Samus going down the elevator? It just stops right there. And then boom, the wall breaks, and you're like, oh shit, it's another Samus right there. But when it zooms in, it makes that noise, and then it just shows that creepy ass image of the SAX close up. It was somewhat like a jump scare, somewhat not. So I never touched that game again. Well, I played it like 2 years ago. It's an amazing game. But anyway, as a kid, I never touched it again. And I remember that I was so scared of it that the first ever sleep paralysis I had, the SAX was in it. And that first ever sleep paralysis. And when you first have that shit, it's scary as fuck. You can't move. You've experienced nothing like it ever in your life. You're like, what's going on? Am I gonna die? You just don't know what to do. You can't do anything. And when I first had it, The SAX was just chilling in my room. He was there. I remember he grabbed me by the leg. He threw me onto like a slide, a playground slide, and I was just sliding down. And that was it. That was the whole sleep paralysis. That's all that happened. But it was the SAX that was there. I'm like, what's he doing here? You know, I was so scared of him that he showed up in my dreams, bro. So yeah, those are the main things that I remember being like really scared of as a kid. I'm trying to think of more. I feel like there should be more, but I can't I can't think of any more. I remember that one episode with Squidward whenever he goes back in time and then he's like in purgatory, I guess. I don't know, but whenever he's in that white space and it's just like alone, 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 that always made me feel uneasy as a kid. Alright, so that's gonna be it for this video. I feel like there should be more things that I was scared of as a kid, but I can't think of them. So please let me know some of y'all's. I feel like maybe that'll help me remember more. So yeah, it's gonna be it for this one. See y'all next time and take care.